The thing that I see the most, the reason why people fail, the reason why they don't realize their true potential is nearly universal. It's just one thing we're gonna talk about in today's video. So I just had a client downstairs that I met at the coffee bar. We talked a little bit. It's the same thing I'm saying, usually in different ways, different words. It's a lot of what I even say on YouTube and a lot of my other videos. The most important thing and the biggest reason or the biggest cause of failure for most people, or the reason why they don't reach their true potential, the reason people don't get to the level they could, is because they aren't consistent. Oh, I'm sure you've heard this. I'm sure you've heard about consistency. I'm sure you understand why you'd want to be consistent. But there's an analogy that I use with my clients, and it is pushing a boulder up the hill. To push a boulder up the hill, you would, day one, push it up as much as you could. Day two, push it up as much as you could, and continually pushing it, keeping force against it so that the boulder doesn't roll back down the hill. What people do though is they get motivated and they push that boulder up the hill 1 day, 2 days, maybe even for a week. And they're making progress, they're building, they're stacking, right? Then day 8 or day 2 or day whatever it is, they just stop and they let all that momentum come down the hill. It's a loose analogy. It's not that to say that, every day you go without working, you're just not gonna make progress, because that's not the case. But if you don't have some kind of consistent schedule, that can be the baseline that you can then build on. So maybe it's twice a week you work on your side hustle and you build or whatever. Maybe it's 3 times a week. And then you grow to eventually it's every day of the week. I believe that to be successful today at anything that you have to build yourself, you have to work and be consistent on a daily basis. And that should be the goal to get to, so that every single day you're making forward momentum. And this is just what I found. I believe it's something with the psyche and human biology, because it seems like if we aren't on it daily, it's not in front of our head enough and into our consciousness enough for us to make the progress and to fight through the inertia and to sift through the noise that there is in the marketplace or on social media or whatever it is. To bust through, to be able to do your own thing, or to take a product from nothing to making money, you have to consistently, daily, be pushing that boulder up that hill, so that eventually you get to the top. And the same analogy here is the flywheel effect by Jim Collins. He talks about a big flywheel. You think about pulling a flywheel, putting force on it, and you maintain force on it, but once you get it spinning enough, it will spin on its own through centrifugal force. So like once you build an audience, or once you get a product selling online, then the other things will help sell that. People will talk about the product, people will use the product, customers will come back to buy it again or buy from you more, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's the same thing with the boulder. It's just kind of a different form. When you get to the top of the hill, then the top of that hill, just like a roller coaster, goes but then at the top, all the way down. Even faster, faster, faster it goes down as it picks up speed because of the force of gravity. It's the same analogy in business. People that hit, they call it a tipping point. Malcolm Gladwell talked about that. Or you go viral even. A lot of YouTubers talk about how this one video went viral and helped them kind of skyrocket. But what people don't understand about that process is these people were pretty much daily producing content, going at, maybe they're going up a little bit, but they're kind of going up the same, right? And then all of a sudden up. They were still consistently going forward, pushing that boulder up the hill so they could get to the top, right? Or so they could get that flywheel moving so that it can then do its own thing. If you want to build something on the side, if you want to build your social media, if you want to be a coach, an influencer, if you have a side business, a product, whatever it happens to be, I don't care if it's even 10 minutes a day. Daily, you must commit to making progress on said thing. It's the same thing with your fitness, same thing with your health, okay? If you want to lose 10 pounds, 50 pounds, 100 pounds, whatever it is, you should be every single day doing something or multiple things towards that end. If you were trying to lose weight, you wouldn't just and people do this, they actually think this way, go 5 days and do well, and then think on the weekends they can eat whatever they want. In a lot of instances, they actually erase the progress they made in the 5 days. The analogy applies to a lot of things in life. Inertia is a force. It's like gravity. It constantly pushes us into the same place we are. It constantly holds us back. And to fight it, and to break free from it, and to eventually get it so that you have your own centrifugal force working for you, so that you can go viral, or so that other customers can market your product for you and then reach other people. To get to that point, you have to go consistently. There's so many analogies here. If you're climbing a rope, trying to climb up a rope, you wouldn't just climb, and then decide, oh, I'm just not going to climb at all today, and I'm just going to go back to nothing and fall down to the bottom. Again, the caveat kind of disclaimer here where the analogy doesn't add up perfectly is like you can still make progress and not have to do something every single day. But I think that's dangerous territory. And I think that maybe that is the point. Because the human mind, the human body, the human experience is one in which we get sucked into inertia. We get sucked into make progress and stop. Like we get sucked into plateaus even. With your fitness, with your business, whatever, you'll go up, you go up, you go up. Maybe you're working every day, making progress, and then you'll hit a plateau, and then you're kind of stuck here. And then to do the next thing, you either got to do more or something else or whatever to kind of bust through that plateau. I want you all to be successful, whether that's business, whether that's in your job, professional life, personal life, whatever it happens to be. And this principle of consistency is something that applies to everything. If you want to read more, if you want to lose weight, like walk daily, eat clean daily, build on your business daily, build your social media, you should be posting daily. If you're trying to hit sales goals, you should be making sales calls daily. If you're trying to learn something, you should be learning daily. On and on and on it goes. And I think probably the reason that you have to do this daily is because you're trying to get to that point where you do it without thinking about it, and it just is part of who you are. Basically, you build a habit. They say it takes like 30 days to build a habit. The research is kind of, it's fuzzy. It's actually closer to maybe 60 days, and sometimes it can take a lot more, sometimes it can be a lot shorter. So it's hard to just say that, oh, in 30 days you'll build a habit, but it takes a lot of time and a lot of consistency to build that habit. And this might even be a neural framing thing. It might even be the way that humans develop habits, and it gets kind of seeps into their subconscious. The analogy applies. Like if you do something for 10 days and then you don't do it for a day or two, a lot of times you lose all that progress from the 10 days before. And so they talk about in habit research, to develop a habit and to make it stick, you need to go consistently every single day until you get to the point where it's basically effortless. And then there'll be times where you'll slack and you'll fall back and you'll have to get back on them, whatever. Like it's not always as simple as like you have a habit for the rest of your life. I fall in and out of habits all the time. But some of the big ones I spend more time on, and the really big one for me, which is work, is daily. I don't miss a day. In fact, for me, I gotta plan a vacation to not work. But some days I might only work a couple hours, like on the weekend, to try to work a little bit less. I usually end up working 4 hours, 5 hours, whatever, because I enjoy what I do, and I like the building process. And that's the place you really wanna get to if you're trying to build anything, all right? So make sure you guys like and subscribe. More videos like this, more videos on health, life, business, entrepreneurship. We have the Tribe to K podcast coming out, which is all about persuasion, selling psychology, and building a tribe so that you can then live the life of your dreams by making a difference and by getting paid for it. The ideas and the concepts that make you good in business and marketing, persuasion, whatever, apply to all aspects of life, especially since everything is rooted in humans, right? Humans is who we sell to, humans is who we interact with, humans is who we want to persuade, humans are who we have relationships with. So when you can understand and build the ancestral mind, you understand why you do the things you do, why people around you do the things you do, and it applies to everything. Like and subscribe.